Hey everyone! Okay, so today we're going to be continuing my Coastal Town series, and today's build features the gym. Also, big thanks to everyone who liked, comment, and subscribed on my 5x5 challenge house that I did 2 videos ago, which we reached over 1.8k views so far, and that's really awesome. So I love you guys so much. And I hope that we continue to grow this channel and become such a strong community. Okay guys, let's get straight into the build. Alright, so for this gym, I knew I wanted a boys and girls separated locker room. So I placed those in the back of the build, and then I knew I wanted this 2 stories. Not that I was adding any stairs or anything, but just because it was more natural lighting and I could add some big windows, which looks really awesome in the end. And I went with this skylight roof design because I really wanted a lot of that natural light shining through, and I also wanted it because it makes buildings look bigger when they have a lot of windows. And since I was working with a very small space, I figured I would add a lot of big open windows to make the space seem more vast, especially for something like a gym. So I realized I never used these modern awnings in my build before, so I thought they'd be perfect for this type of theme, but it kind of made it look like a big Adidas or a big Nike store. Like when you go to these like outside malls or strip malls or whatever, they have these like big things, especially like in the outlets too. If you go to the outlets, this looks like something like either it would be a Foot Locker, Nike, or Adidas or something like that. I don't know, I just got that vibe from that, but I didn't think it was a bad thing because those things correlate to gyms because people wear sportswear to the gym. But yeah. Okay, so I'm laying the floor, and the majority of the floor is just like interconnecting squares or puzzle pieces of like these foam material blocks. I don't know, you see them in real life when like, especially in home gyms, but I thought this was like literally perfect replication of real life. So I was like, oh my god, this is as close as we could get to a real gym floor, unless you do like wood or something. Alright, so for the front check-in desk, I knew I wanted some like decals, so I tried to find some that weren't too cheesy but had some inspirational quotes on them and also kind of look modern to fit the theme. So I ended up placing them on the front and back of that partition wall. I had also prepared some decals for the boys and girls locker room, so I'm just placing these decals. I thought these were perfect because they weren't too much, but it gets the point across. So, and then for the rest of the decals of the quotes, I put them on this big wall where I didn't have any windows, and you could kind of look up and see them, which I thought made the building look bigger. And also, if this was in real life, it would give people something more to look at in the gym, like rather than just like blank walls everywhere. You could look up and like see inspiration. So I thought that was pretty smart on my end. I haven't used this technique in my builds in such a long time, but I kind of miss it. The LEDs around the mirrors, it's awesome sauce. This was also a good idea because in this build specifically, I didn't have an immediate roof on the first story, so being that my roof was on my second story, I had to have ample lighting, and these definitely did the job. Looking back at my process of building, these pillars were simply for style, but I kind of see it as a way to designate the ending and beginning of where the workout area starts and ends. So in that way, they serve a purpose and they look good. Alright, so for the check-in desk, I really wanted it to be realistic, so I decorated it with some protein bars and also protein shake. And I separated this from the rest of the vending machines, which you will see later, and this was for a reason. This was because a lot of the gyms I've seen will advertise their own products on their own brand and make you want to buy them when you enter into their gym membership. So that's the kind of scene I was trying to create there. Here we can have some complimentary water because I don't think that that anybody should have to pay for water. It's free outside, so I don't think we should have to pay for it. So when you go to my gym, you don't have to pay for water. Everyone has the right to water, and so we offer complimentary water. How many times am I going to say water, guys? Okay, so moving on to the other side. So here we have the vending machines, and of course I placed the pre-made one with all the drinks in it because it has some healthy options. And next to it I put the empty one, and I had to transform all these custom foods into it. So I wanted to include a lot of healthy options for eating. So I included a lot of fruits and veggies, and also some pre-made meals. I tried to make them look pre-made anyways. So we have some fruit platters, some veggie platters, and also a variety of salads. So I thought it'd be a good idea for people to have the opportunity to grab a healthy meal before or after they work out. Okay, so this is where it gets a little crowded in this build, and I was expecting that because honestly the plots I made are not that big. You know, I keep mentioning that in every episode, but I don't know what else to say, guys. The plot is not that big. Honestly, Bloxburg needs to get bigger plots, honestly. Okay, anyways, I managed to fit everything. I put the weights kind of on the back middle wall and also to the left, and on the right I focused on more of the cardio section, so I have all the treadmills and bikes and things. So I did manage to fit them, but it is crowded, I will admit that, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. It still looks great. So in the tour it looks great, so no doubt about that. I was happy with it still. So I came up with an idea to make sure that I offer cleaning supplies. So there's a bunch of spray bottles and towels. These towels can you can use them for, I guess you could use the folded up towels for drying your body, and I guess you can use the rolled up towels for cleaning, or vice versa, whatever. So I just wanted to make sure that there was a realism aspect when it comes to cleanliness, because we need that, especially in a public gym. And guys, we have finally made it to the last segment of the build. So this is the locker rooms, and they're identical. They're just flipped from one another. I didn't think there was any real purpose of making them different from one another because they serve the same function. Whether you're a guy or girl, you're gonna use the bathroom, you're gonna take a shower, you wash your hands. Yeah, okay, so in this locker room, you have a shower if you want to take a shower. You also have a place to wash your hands, look in the mirror, fix yourself, you know, and dry your hands and whatever. And then you also have a place to use the bathroom. I also offered a lot of lockers and full-size mirror to view yourself, as well as a bench to rest and pack your things and store your things in the locker and all that jazz. Alright guys, it's like 2 a.m. so bear with me. Alright, so we have a bench and trash can on this side, and it's the same on the other side as well. They're simple, but they do their job. So we have our floor mat. Let's open these doors. So you're first greeted in by the check-in counter, which has some fruits, some clipboards, and a protein. Yeah. And look at the sky through the roof. I think that is so gorgeous. Alright, so on the side we have our vending machines with all our healthy options of food. Yeah, nice, right? Nice. Okay, this is our protein shake, so we're advertising this. Alright, so on this side we have a plant and we have some complimentary water. Look at these nice pillars. And then we also have our bench here. Okay, I have to close that because I don't want people to start coming in. It's just gonna get chaotic if that starts to happen. Okay, so let's make our way through to the workout area. Alright, so over here we have our dumbbells and kettlebell, and we also have our bench press, and we have this big mirror which we can see ourselves in. Look at the overview, guys, look. Tell me those windows were not a good idea. Okay, so over here we have our barbell stand, and then we have our squat rack, and we also have our weightlifting bench over here too with some additional weight plates, which is really cool. And then over here we have our cleaning station, so we're also greeted by the punching bag. And let me make my way to the cardio section. But here's an overview of that. Okay, so over here we have our bikes and our treadmills. So I wanted to include like the high quality one versus the like entry level one as well. So there's one of each. So I'm trying to show you guys the big quotes up here. They're supposed to be inspirational. Yeah, they're all the way up there. So if you look up, you've got some inspiration. I forgot to include, but there's also TVs over the treadmill. I'm so sorry, guys. This tour is crazy, but it's 2 a.m. Alright, so we're making our way. I'm trying to show you guys the boys' locker room. I'm just showing you the entrance, but we're gonna go toward the girl one. Okay, so the parkour, every video. Okay, so this is the girls' locker room. So when you first come in, you've got your bathroom. Pretty standard, but it's clean. So that's the most important thing. And then over here, we've got our sink where we can wash our hands, look at ourselves, do all that good stuff for ourselves. And we can make our way into the shower. We have a little towel rack as well. So this is the shower. I did want to make it more modern, but I couldn't. So I just used the pre-made one because the custom one was too big. So we've got our full-fledged mirror here, and we've got a bunch of lockers. And then we have our bench where you can put your things and also sit down. But that's pretty much it. Pretty standard, but gets to the point. Here are some things like a gym bag, towels, a drink, and some deodorant. So basic gym stuff. And if we make our way back through, I just wanted to show you guys that I wasn't lying, and these are literally identical. So there's no difference. Just if you're curious. Alright, so okay. I'm stuck, hold on. Okay. So let me make my way through the front and I will show you the full exterior. Overall, 10 out of 10 for this town so far. Okay. Here we go. On to outro. Okay guys, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Honestly, this was definitely one of my funniest voiceovers yet. I really enjoyed this video and I'm really happy about the result. Also guys, again, thank you for all of you guys who have liked, comment, and supported and subscribed to my channel. I really appreciate it and I love interacting with all of you guys. You guys are really awesome and I can't wait to make further content for all of you. So like, comment, and subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff. And as always, I love you all. Stay rad. I'll see you next week. Bye everyone.